to Cheap Lazy Vegan and another recipes video. Today guys, I want to show you 3 delicious recipes that you could make as part of your Christmas dinner. You can make all this and that could be a great dinner. You could also bring any of these recipes to a potluck any time of year really, but obviously it would be perfect for this time of year, the cozy season, the holiday season. 3 cozy, delicious, comforting recipes perfect for a holiday dinner, or any sort of potluck. Before we jump in guys, I am having a Veganuary sale on all of my ebooks and all my ebook bundles on my website. It's 20% off you guys for the rest of December and all of January, which is going to be Veganuary 2026. If you don't know, Veganuary is a vegan campaign that encourages people to try going vegan for the month of January. So a lot of people participate in Veganuary. So I thought, why not offer my ebooks, which are basically all recipes ebooks, including my ebook bundles at a discount. So using the code VEGAN20, you can get 20% off of not only the ebooks, but also the bundles, which are already discounted because you're getting a few ebooks together. So check out my ebooks, you guys. My most recent ones are the Vegan Sushi at Home ebook, which basically has a bunch of vegan sushi recipes and sushi ideas. I also have my weight loss friendly recipes ebook, No More Cabbage Soup, which has a ton of weight loss friendly, delicious vegan recipes. Also my Everyday Asian Recipes ebook, which has Asian recipes and so on and so forth. You could also get the Ultimate Bundle, which has all my recipes ebooks at a discounted price, and then you can get 20% on top of that. So the link to my ebooks will be below, so check that out and use my code VEGAN20 to get 20% off. Now let's get started with the recipes. The first recipe is gonna be this super easy sweet potato chili coconut soup. This is a 1-pot recipe and the hardest part is peeling and chopping up the sweet potatoes. Yes, this is gonna be the most time consuming part. Just peel the sweet potatoes, chop them up into small chunks. And they don't have to be perfect or pretty, they just have to be cut up into smaller chunks so that we can blend it up later. But yes, everything is gonna get blended, so don't need to make it perfect. Once you have those sweet potatoes chopped, you can also dice up some onion. And again, this is all gonna get blended, so it doesn't have to be perfect, just in small pieces. Now we're ready for the pot. So we're gonna add some olive oil, or you can just use regular vegetable oil. We're gonna heat that up and we can add our onion. Now we're gonna cook the onion for about a minute or so, maybe a couple of minutes, until the onions begin to soften, and then they're gonna be all fragrant and delicious smelling. Another thing that you're gonna want to slice up is a red chili pepper. What I did was I sliced the whole thing up and then I saved half of the pretty pieces, and then the other half I just chopped it up into smaller pieces and then threw that in with the onion and also added some minced garlic. Then you want to also add your sweet potato. Yes, it's a lot of sweet potato, but the sweet potato provides most of that creamy deliciousness that we are going to experience in this very comforting soup. Now this part is optional, but I'm also adding some red chili pepper flakes. And by the way, if you don't want this spicy, you can just omit the chili and omit the chili pepper flakes. This is just gonna give it a really nice kick. Then we're gonna add some full fat coconut milk. What I would do is save about a 1/4 cup of the coconut milk to drizzle on at the end, and then just add the rest into the soup along with some vegetable broth, or in my case I'm adding water and I'm adding some veggie bouillon cubes, which essentially is veggie broth. I basically never buy veggie broth because I feel like I don't use enough of it and then it goes bad. So I definitely prefer to just have veggie bouillon cubes, and I just add it to water. Now you want to bring that mixture to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes until the sweet potato is soft. You should be able to very easily stick a fork in a sweet potato, so that's the way to check if it's fully cooked. And once it's cooked, you can use a stick blender, or you can pour the soup into a blender, and you can work in batches if you need to. If it's too much soup, just work in smaller batches and blend the soup up to a smooth consistency. And once it's blended up, give it a little taste, see if you need to add anything else, maybe a little salt and pepper, maybe a little more chili flakes. And once you like the taste of it, you can serve it. I like to add a little swirl of coconut milk on top. I feel like this gives it that ooh la la sensation. And then you can also add some red chili slices on top, along with some fresh parsley if you want to, and then just serve it. It's so good, it's so comforting. It is like a hug in a bowl. The next dish is going to be some roasted Brussels sprouts with maple syrup and balsamic vinegar. I feel like Brussels sprouts have this bad reputation, and I have no idea why. They are so delicious, especially when roasted like this to perfection. It just makes the perfect side dish, and it's obviously perfect for the holidays, but honestly, I would enjoy this any time of year. First, you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and while that's preheating, you can wash your Brussels sprouts and then cut off the stems and then cut the Brussels sprouts in half. Then add those bad boys into a mixing bowl along with some olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then you're just gonna toss that up nicely. Then place the Brussels sprouts onto a baking sheet, and you wanna separate them. And if you want the outside to be extra crispy, you wanna place them cut side down like so that that outside layer can get really nice and crispy, and it's still gonna get nice and tender on the inside. Pop them in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. And while those Brussels sprouts are roasting, you can mix up your very simple sauce, which is just balsamic vinegar and maple syrup. You can just mix that well. And once the Brussels sprouts are done roasting for 20 minutes, take them out of the oven, keep the oven on. And I kind of like to move the Brussels sprouts into the center. And then you're just gonna pour that glaze on top, and you're gonna try to mix this as well as you can. And then you separate the Brussels sprouts again. So essentially you're just moving the Brussels sprouts in the middle so that all the sauce can get all over those Brussels sprouts, and then just mix it around to get that sauce into the Brussels sprouts. Then you want to pop them back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes until they are nice and crispy on the outside, and they should be lovely and tender on the inside. And what I love about this recipe is that you can enjoy it like this, or you can feel free to customize it. You can feel free to add any other seasonings of your choice. You can also add in some roasted almonds or any sort of toasted nuts. You can also top with some red pepper flakes. Do whatever you want, but this alone is really delicious. Makes the perfect holiday side dish or a side dish to any delicious, comforting meal. Last but definitely not least, this is going to be a buffalo mac and cheese recipe, completely dairy-free. Absolutely no cows were harmed in the making of this delicious mac and cheese. First, we're gonna make the mac and cheese sauce, and what you're gonna need are some soaked cashews. You can either soak cashews overnight in some water, or you can be like me and just boil the cashews for 20 minutes and then drain. Before we make the sauce, you just want to get that pasta going. So boil that water and cook up that pasta. I'm using macaroni, but feel free to use whatever pasta shape you like. While that pasta is cooking, we can make our delicious vegan buffalo mac and cheese sauce. Add those cashews into a blender along with some non-dairy milk, lemon juice, and some vegan-friendly buffalo sauce. I'm using Frank's Red Hot buffalo sauce. Guys, I didn't know this was vegan until recently, so hallelujah, praise Jesus, it's vegan. We're also going to add some nutritional yeast, garlic powder, turmeric for that yellow color, smoked paprika, and salt. Now, all you have to do is blend this up and you'll have your delicious vegan buffalo mac and cheese sauce. And guys, this is so good. Oh my God. If you make this without the buffalo sauce, it's just a standard delicious vegan mac and cheese sauce that I have been making for years. But if you make it with the buffalo sauce, it gives it that, of course, delicious buffalo sauce flavor. It really, I feel like, enhances the flavor of the sauce. It makes it super flavorful, gives it that small kick, and it's just really, really good. And once the pasta is done cooking, you can drain it and you can now pour that delicious buffalo mac and cheese sauce onto the pasta. And did you notice I did not even have to use any vegan cheeses? Yes, you can actually just enjoy it like this. This alone is so delicious. You can just finish it here. This is your vegan buffalo mac and cheese. Absolutely great. But if you want to take it one extra step further, if you want to make it a little bit extra special, then you can go to the next step. For the next step, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then in a small bowl, you're gonna add some melted vegan butter, breadcrumbs, and some shredded vegan cheese. And honestly, if you wanted to make it without any vegan cheese and keep it a little more budget friendly, I feel like it would still be absolutely delicious, even with just the breadcrumbs and the vegan butter, but you can also add that vegan cheese for even more flavor. If you're doing this step, make sure that your mac and cheese is in a casserole dish or an oven-safe dish. And on top of that, you're gonna spread out that breadcrumb mixture so that it is coating the top. And then you're gonna throw it in the oven uncovered and bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 to 15 minutes so that you get this really nice golden crust on top. And it really gives the mac and cheese an extra lovely kind of crunchy texture along with more savory kind of cheesy, buttery flavor. So it adds a nice extra element to an already absolutely delicious dish. I feel like if I was making this just for myself or at home, I would probably just skip the breadcrumbs. But if I was making it for like a potluck or like a special thing, then I would do the breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So at the end, this part is totally optional, but if you wanted to, you could drizzle on some vegan ranch on top and also some more vegan buffalo sauce. And guys, this is a crowd pleaser. If you are doing a potluck or something, this is definitely going to be a hit. So make sure you try it out. Alright guys, so that is it for my vegan potluck recipes / holiday dinner recipes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be taking the buffalo mac and cheese to a potluck tonight. So there you go. I hope everybody enjoys it. I think they will. It is delicious. Yes. So all of the recipes are on my blog. Each of the blog posts will be linked below if you want to get all of the ingredients lists and the measurements. And if you guys enjoy any of these recipes, make sure you give my blog post a 5-star review. Those help me a lot. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, check out my vegan ebooks and ebook bundles. They are now on sale for 20% off using the code VEGAN20 at checkout. The links to the ebooks and the ebook bundles will be below. So check those out, you guys. Get 20% off and happy Veganuary coming very soon. Hope you guys have an amazing holiday season and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!